Do you want to create a website for a new blog, business, or online store? Hi, I'm Dara from websitesosimple.com, and in this Wix tutorial for beginners, I'm going to show you how to create a website with Wix step by step. So let's get started. Step 1 is to create a free Wix account. The best way to see how easy it is to make a website with Wix is to try it out for yourself. So click the link in the description below to be taken to this page where you can create your Wix account for free. Once you land on the page, go ahead and click Start Now. And here you will be able to create your account for free. So go ahead and type in your email and a password. Once you're ready, go ahead and click Sign Up. So I'm going to add this new password to my password manager. And if you want a full tutorial on how to use a password manager, I will link that in the description and a card up above. Now, to finish setting up our account, Wix is asking us to answer a few questions, but we can go ahead and skip this step. Note that you'll also receive an email from Wix asking you to confirm the email that you used to sign up. So once you get that, open it up and go ahead and click on Confirm Email Now. That's how easy it is to complete step 1 and to create your free Wix account. Now let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is to choose a template. Now after you create your account, you'll see that you have the option here to choose how you want to create your website. On the left, you'll see the option to use Wix's ADI builder, which stands for Artificial Design Intelligence. It's actually much easier to choose the option on the right, where you're just choosing a template that's very close to the website that you want, and then making slight edits. So go ahead and click on Choose a Template. So now you want to pick a website template that you love, and you can click down through the drop downs and really find any type of website. There are over 800 pre-made websites for you to choose from, and you can break them down by category like here. There are also lots of online stores and lots of blogs as well, broken down by category. So it can be very easy to find something that's very close to what you want. You'll also see by default here that there are the most popular website templates, so you can have a look through them. And once you find one that you like the look of, click on View. And if you want to see a full demo of it, you can click there. Or once you're happy with the template that you've chosen, just go ahead and click Edit to open up the Wix Editor, where we can start editing this template. That's how easy it is to complete step 2 and choose a template. Now let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is to edit the template. It's very easy to make your website look exactly how you want. And every Wix website can be edited in the same way. So what I'm going to do now is go through and edit every part of this template in a very structured way. I've broken down every task and put it into the description with a timestamp. So if you want to skip ahead to anything in particular, take a look at the timestamps in the description, or note that they're there for future if you want to come back and remind yourself of how to do something. So let's dive straight in now to editing this template. To edit text, simply select the text that you want to edit and start typing. You can select any text on your website to edit it in the same way. And if you click right-click Edit Text, you will see the text editing window here, where you can reduce the size of the text if you want. So I'm going to reduce this right down and then type in another sentence here. You also have the option here to change the font color. So if you wanted to do that, just make sure that you have it selected first. Then we can see what this would look like in different colors. I'm just going to leave it as black for the moment. You also have the option here to bold the text or italicize it or underline it. So all the typical ways that you can edit text are available here in the text window. And once you're done editing the text, you can exit the text editing window and you can adjust the field here or the position of the text if you want by simply moving it around. And this line that is appearing in the screen is telling me that this text is centered. So if you do move it around, look out for that so you know that the text is centered. To edit an image, simply left click on the image and click on Change Strip Background. So here you will see the current background that we have on our homepage of our website. There are a number of royalty-free videos and images here within Wix that you can use on your site for free. So if there's one that you really like there, you can go ahead and click on that and it'll go straight in. Or you can search through the image catalog here. There is a whole media library here inside Wix, or you can always upload your own media if you want. Just drag your files here or upload them from the computer. So as well as images and video backgrounds, you can also just put in a basic color background. So if you want to do that, just select that and you can, as before, change those different colors to see how it's going to look. You can also add in a color here if you've got the color code. So if you have a particular brand color, you can just add that in there as well. And that's how simple it is to edit images on Wix. To edit a button, simply click on the button and click on Change Text. Now here you can change the text that appears on the button. So for example, if I wanted to put in Hire Me, you can see now that the button text has been changed. Now, as well as changing the text, it's important to know where this button is linking to. Where do people go after they click on the button? Right now, we can see that it links to the services page. If you want to change that, just click on the link icon. You can see that it's linking to a page, and you can change this to one of the other pages on our website simply by selecting it. Also, as well as sending them to a page, you could send them to an email or a phone number or really whatever you wanted. But I think for this example, it makes sense to send people to the services page because that's a strong call to action, which will generate income for me. And that's how simple it is to edit any button on your website. Editing text, images, and buttons are the basic skills that you'll need to edit your website. And you can actually get a surprising amount done just knowing these three things. For example, you can scroll down to another section on your homepage, apply these same three steps, and suddenly you've transformed your template into a personalized website that looks fantastic and professional. Now, before we go ahead and look at some more intermediate or advanced editing, I want to take a minute to pause and go over some tips and best practices for editing. So first, while you're editing, it's important that you regularly go ahead and save what you are doing. You can see that autosave is on, but it is always just a good idea to save your work after you've done a little bit of editing. You really don't want to be in a position where you've edited your site for 2 hours, your battery dies, and then all your work is lost. So it's a simple reminder, but it could save you a lot of hassle. So make sure to regularly save and ensure that autosave is also on. Now, as well as saving your work, you can also view your site history. So if you want to go back in time to view or restore any version of your site, you can do that by looking at your site history. Just click Continue to Site History. And you can see all of the versions of your site here. And you can preview what they look like. And then you can restore them if you want. So if you wanted to go back to the original template, you could just click on restore, and that would restore to this previous version. Also, you're able to preview your site so you can see what your site looks on desktop and mobile before you go live. So you can really see what it's going to look like without all the editing window stuff there that can sometimes clutter up and not make it clear what the actual visitors are going to see, which is what you will see in this preview mode. Now, another handy little tip is to know that there are the undo and redo buttons here. So if you've made changes or text that doesn't look good, you can just undo them quickly or redo them and compare them against each other to see how they look. Also be aware that as well as the desktop editor here, there is also a mobile editor. So if you click here, you can switch to the mobile editor and really see what your website is going to look like on mobile. So for example, here in the mobile view and mobile editor, I can see that this text just looks a bit too big. So I'm going to click on it and I can easily reduce the size of this text, maybe get it down onto 2 lines, and that becomes much more readable for people on mobile. Might even change the size of this text box just to bring it in a little bit, center it up, and you can really change this text as well to make it look good. Over 50% of traffic is coming to websites now from mobile devices, so it is important that you take a look at this mobile editor for each page of your website and make sure that it looks good for your mobile visitors. If you would like to switch the page and start editing another page on your website, all you'll need to do is click on the drop down in the top left-hand corner. You can see here now that we are on the home page. And if you want to switch the page, just click on the drop down. And for example, we can go to our services page. And here you'll be able to edit the images, the text, and the buttons in the same way as you've already learned how to do. Now, you also might not do all of your website editing in one sitting. So if you want to get back to the editor, just go to wix.com and sign in. And then you'll get to your Wix dashboard where you can manage really everything about your website. And if you want to get back to the Wix editor, just click on your site here and click on Edit Site, and the Wix website editor will open back up and you can continue where you left off. Now, one final thing I do want to point out here is the search bar. This is actually pretty cool. If there are certain elements that you want to add, like a logo, you can see that there are some art here that you can drag and drop straight onto the editing window if you wanted to put that up here. I'm going to undo that. And also, if there are certain things that you don't understand, for example, in this template, there's a members area. And I didn't really know what that was once I looked it up first. So I typed in member area, and here I can learn a little bit more about this feature that Wix has. So if you get stuck, it's always a great thing that you can check in on. It's a fantastic resource and really will save you the time of reaching out to Wix support. So now that we've covered the tips and best practices for editing, let's dive in a little bit deeper and look at how to edit other parts of your website. To edit the header, which appears across the top of every page on your website, all you need to do is click on any element within the header. So for example, to edit the text here, we can just select it and type in our text. We can change the tagline in the same way. Now, if you want to add a logo to the header, it's also very easy. To upload a logo, simply click on the Add button here in the left menu. Click on Image, My Uploads. Click on My Image Uploads upload media, and then you can drag and drop your logo in, upload it, and add it to the page. So I'm just going to resize this a little bit. Remove the text that I have here, make space for the logo, and move it into position. Sometimes the logo won't fit perfectly, so if you right click, you can crop the design. This can be hard to see, but I'll zoom in here a bit. And crop out some of the black, so it's a bit smaller. And then it's a bit neater. Now, one more thing you want to do with the logo is add a link to the home page. So click on the logo, click on the link. Let's add this to a page and add it to the home page. So if people click on our logo, let's say they're on the blog page, they click on the logo, it'll bring them back to the home page. So it's important to add that link into your logo as well, so people can really use it as a way to return to the home page. To make a logo, Wix does have a logo maker. Just go to wix.com/logo/maker, and they have a basic logo maker. At the end of it, you will have to pay to get the logo. It's about $20. Or there are other free options out there online, or you could hire someone on a freelancing site like Fiverr.com to make a logo for you for about $5. So I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to check that out as well. To edit the header design, you can just left click on the header and click Change Header Design. And here you'll see the option to change the colors of the header if you want. And you can really preview how that is going to look. You can also customize the design as well if you have your own brand colors. And you can also, if you click on Settings, edit the header scroll settings. So right now you can see that the header freezes in place as people scroll down through the site. You want to change it to, for example, fades out. And to see what that looks like, select it and then click on Preview. And as people scroll down, you can see the header fades out. Now I'm going to keep it as it was, because I think it is always good for people to see that header, and it makes it easy to navigate the site. Just remember to keep saving as you go along so you don't lose any of your changes. To edit the menu, just left click on the menu and then click on Manage Menu. And here you're able to reorder the buttons that appear here. So for example, if you wanted to put the About page after the blog, we could simply drag that down, and you can see now that the button has been moved to the end, so you can really put your more important buttons here at the start. Now also, if you wanted to create a drop-down menu in the main menu, that's easy to do. All you need to do is either take an existing menu item, or you could add a new one and just drag it kind of on top of the other menu item, and you'll see it create the sub-menu. So if you want to see what that looks like, open it up in Preview, and we can see now that there is the option there to have this sub-menu, and that's great, particularly if you've got a lot of content or pages on your site, but you want to make it easy for people to find. These sub-menus are very helpful. So I'm going to return to my editor. I'm actually going to undo that because I like the way it is. But returning to managing the menu, you can see that there is an item here to add a menu item. So this could be a link or a submenu title or a page. So I'm just going to imagine that I have an online course. I just put in a link here. And now I want to rename the label title, so I can just say online course. And then there is a link to maybe my online course, which is on a separate website to this website. It could be a specific place like that. Now also beside every menu item, if you click on the three dots, you're able to change the link or rename it, or as we've seen, move it to a submenu or remove it from the menu altogether. So there's plenty of options there to really edit this menu and make it exactly how you want. Now let's look at how to edit anchors. So to show you what an anchor is, let's go into the preview mode. And if I click on the About button in the menu here, you can see that it doesn't bring me to a separate page. It actually brings me further down the same page. And we use anchors to enable this. So these type of anchors are most useful on one-page websites or very long pages with several sections. And the anchors allow people to skip to the relevant sections quickly. So how you actually set those up or remove them is quite simple, and I'll show you how to do it now. So if we come back to the editor, we can scroll up and we can click on the menu, Manage Menu, and you can see the little anchor symbol here, which shows you that we've added that these are actually anchors and they're not links to different pages. So you can add a menu item here, add in an anchor, and you'll be able to select the anchor from the drop-down list. So you can see that there's one already set up for contact and about, but let me show you how to set up a new one and how to add it to the menu so you really understand the full process. Scrolling down the page, you can see here that this is the About anchor that's already been created, and that's why we can add it to the menu. Now let's say if I wanted to add a anchor here and put a button on the menu that will bring people to this section of the page. So what I want to do then is click Add, click on Menu, click on Anchor. You can see the anchor here, and I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the page. So just position it correctly. And let's say I'm going to rename this as, let's say, Hire Me. So what I can do then is save that. Now I can come back up to the menu. We're going to add a new menu item, add an anchor. I can select from the drop-down list now the anchor that I've created, and that's going to add in there. So now when I go into the preview mode, I can click here and it's going to bring me straight down to that section. So that's really what an anchor is, why you might want to use it, and how to add it to a section on the page, and how to also add it to the menu. If you want to delete the anchor as well, you can just click on it and delete it, and it's gone, or press undo like I did there. You can also, by the way, add these anchors to any buttons. So if you click on the button, click on the link, you can see that there is the option, instead of selecting a page, to link it to an anchor as well. So you can do it not just on the main menu, but any button on your page as well. To edit the layout of a page, you can click on this zoom out and reorder button here. And so, for example, if you wanted to move the services section, let's say above the About section, you just drag and drop that above, and also take this header section as well. So that's a way that you can really reorder things, and you can save them, check them out, preview them if you want. Just going to leave it the way it was, but that's how you zoom out and reorder. Now let's look at how to edit the footer, which appears across the bottom of every page on your website. So as before, you can edit the text just by clicking on it and editing it. And you can remove any details as well if you want. You can reposition this. You can change that for your website email if you have one set up. Also, for the social media links here, click on that to set up social links. You can remove any of these just by clicking on the bin icon here. And if you want to add in your links, you can just click on that, click on the link, and then pop in your own link here. Once you're done, you can click save. You can also have the option here if you want people to open it in a new window, which is probably a good idea so they stay on your site. So that's very easy to add or delete. And there's also other icons here. Click on that. And you can see that there are the icons for other things like Amazon or Blogger or Snapchat or Yelp or whatever. All the icons are there and very easy to add them into the gallery as well if you wanted to do that. You can also edit this as well. You can remove that it was created with Wix if we want. And also we can just add in, say, your name or your company name here. This is not a formal copyright, so you don't need to worry about registering a copyright or anything like that. But it's just good to add it in there, and you can reposition this and line this up as well if you want. Now let's look at how to edit the contact form. So first off, if you don't want a contact form on your site, you can easily select this one and just hit the delete button on your keyboard. In its place, you could just leave it blank if you don't want to accept submissions by contact form. Or you can also click on the add button here, come down and click on contact and forms. And here you'll see other options, not just for a contact form, but payment forms, donations, job applications, feedback, price quotes, subscribe buttons, etc. So really, beyond the contact form, there's what's known as Wix forms, and there's plenty of options that you can simply just drag and drop and put them straight onto your website. Now, one of the most important things with a contact form is to ensure that you are being notified every time somebody fills it out. So to check the email address that it's set up with, you can click on the contact form, click on form settings, click on settings, and click on email notifications. And here you'll see the email address that you will be notified to every time somebody fills out the form. So this is the email address that I use to set up this Wix account, and by default, all submissions via the contact form will go to that email. Now, if you want to change that, you can easily add a new contributor here. So just put in the email address, invite them, or just invite yourself to, say support at websitesosimple.com, and then you can manage the roles there. And that way the submissions are going to an email that you're monitoring specifically for support queries or general queries. So that's how you change the email address if you want it. But the great thing is that by default, it's set up to go to the email address that you use to set up your Wix account. So there's no big setup process. If you're happy with that, it's already good to go and working. Now, as well as changing the email address, you might want to add a new field to the form. So to do that, just click on Add New Field. And here you can simply click on any field that you want to add in. So for example, to reduce spam, you might want to add a reCAPTCHA form. So somebody has to tick that I'm not a robot before they could submit the contact form. So that's something you can easily add if you're getting a lot of spam emails. Or you can also add in other options. Like for example, you could add in a drop-down field. If in the example of this website, I wanted to try and qualify people who were contact me in order to buy my services, I might ask them to, let's say, edit the field here, Facebook ads budget, and choose the option. You can edit the label. Let's say $0, $500, and $1,000. And I can delete the other option if I want. So now, if we go into the preview mode, I can see that somebody kind of has to select their Facebook ads budget, and that gives me an indication of how seriously I should take their contact submission. Is this a person who's money to spend that's ultimately going to buy my services? And that's a way that you can prioritize those leads that are coming in through your contact box. So there's lots of options there, and once again, you can always just select and delete it if you want. Just hit the delete button on your keyboard. So it really is great that these contact forms are set up automatically within Wix and they come as part of your template. Now let's look at how to edit the Wix Chat feature. So as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, we have our chat feature. And if you want to see what this looks like to your website visitors, you can click on the preview mode, click on the chat feature, and I've tested this a couple of times so you can see my messages here. But essentially it's just going to say, let's chat, enter your message, and we'll respond to you as soon as we can. So this is the design, the look, the layout. If you want to change any of this, what you would do is come back into the editor, click on settings, and here you can change the settings, the layout, the design, in very much the same way that we've been editing the website. It's very straightforward and simple, and really not too much to explain. Now there is one thing that I do want to point out, and if you want to schedule your online chat hours, you do need to upgrade to a Wix marketing plan. It's called the Ascend plan. There's a couple of different options, but just be aware that if you want to schedule your chat hours, say for example 9 to 5 when you're in the office and in front of your computer, you will need to upgrade to a Wix marketing plan, which is separate and an additional cost to a Wix website plan. So just be aware of that. That's why I often recommend for people that if they can't respond to chat at all times of the day, then perhaps it's just better to delete this feature, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now, what if you want to actually use this feature and respond to the messages and monitor them? Well, then I suggest you click on Main here and click on the option to get the Wix mobile app. This will enable you to put in your mobile phone. You can download the app, and it's inside this app that you can monitor and respond to those chat messages. So definitely download that mobile app if you want to use the chat feature. But again, the warning is that you might be getting messages in the middle of the night, and if you're not going to be able to respond to them, perhaps it's best to delete the feature, and it's very easy to do. What you can do is just click on the feature and click the delete button on your keyboard, and then instead of people contacting you by chat where they expect an immediate response, they just have the option to contact you through the contact form, which the expectation generally is that you'll get back to them within 24 to 48 hours. So for a lot of people, perhaps that is the best option, but it is fantastic that that chat function is there. It can really help generate sales if you've got the support team and the setup to support that. It can help people, any questions through the checkout, if they're on the buying page, etc. It can be a very useful tool, but maybe not to get started if you're just a one-man team. So by now you know how to edit the header of your website, the body of any page, the footer, the contact form, and the chat. Now let's look at how to edit the blog, which is a great way to grow your audience and generate leads for your business. So to edit the blog, we want to first come up to the top left-hand corner and select the blog page so we can look at editing this. And here you can see that there are some sample blog posts already pre-made for us. And all we need to do is change the text and images in these blog posts to make them our own. So to edit the blog posts, just click on the blog posts here and then click on Manage Posts. So it's in here that we can see that there are already 6 published blog posts in this Wix template. And all we need to do is really edit the text and images like before to make these our own. So for example, to edit this blog post here, you can just select it and then edit it. And we can put in a title. Now for any blog post, it's always a good idea to try and write something that's going to help educate or inform your target audience. So for example, following the example of this Facebook ads freelancer website, perhaps I could write a blog post about Facebook ads for drop shipping if that was something that I was specialized in and that I wanted to try and attract clients for that. Now, as you can see here, they also suggest you put in a post subtitle that's a few short, punchy sentences and entices your audience to continue reading. And after the subtitle, you can just simply update the image as well. Just select the image, then come up and click on Replace Image. And then simply drag and drop your image onto the page here, and then you can add it to the page. And then you would just go on down through the blog post and add in your content, and you can follow the similar format here. It's actually very well laid out already, so it's going to be easy for people to skim. There's quotes here, there's easily readable headings, and the format of these blog posts is very easy to read, so you should really follow what's already laid out here. Now, as you can see here, this blog post appears to be written by Tutorials85. This is just the automatic name that was given to me when I signed up for this Wix account. So if you wanted to change that, come across into settings, you can see that there are different authors here, and you would just simply add an author name. You could add an image also, and then just add that in. And you can see that it's changed here. So in this way, you could add multiple writers. These could be freelancers or members of your community. And this is a great way to grow your blog into like a publication. Now, also here you have the option for some SEO for the blog as well. So you can post in what's going to show up in the search results in Google, what's going to really show up here. And you can also select a title for the search engine and the URL that's going to appear. So these are all things that you can do to make your blog posts appear more attractive in the search engines, and that will help it get more clicks and rise to the top of the search results page for your keyword. You can also add categories as well, or tags to your blog post, so that people can really search through your blog and sort your blog post by category or by tag, and you can simply add them in, say for example drop shipping or something like that. So once you're done with all your changes, you can just go ahead and hit publish, and there you will see it's updated. Now, as you can see, there are 5 other example blog posts that came with this template. You might not want to update all of them in one go. So what you can do is actually unpublish these for the moment and then edit them and publish them later, perhaps one per week. So to do that, you can select them all, and you just want to deselect the posts that you've already published and want to keep on your blog. And for these other ones here, you can click on Revert to Draft, and these selected posts then will no longer be published on your site. You can click Revert to Draft, And if you want to publish these later on, just come into your draft posts over here. You can edit them, then publish them, and then they'll appear here in the published tab. You can also then see that there are scheduled posts if you want. You can really set up a whole scheduling thing here as well for that. And that really wraps up how to edit the blog. So now that you know how to edit the blog, let's look now at how to add a page to your Wix template. To add a page to your website, just click on the Menu and Pages website in the top left-hand corner and click on Add a Page. So here we have a blank page that's been added to our website. And the first thing that we can do is give it the page name. So I'm going to create a testimonials page here. And now we can go ahead and start editing it. So right now you can see it's a completely blank page. We do have our header and our footer, which appear across all the pages on our website. But now we've got a blank page and we want to start building it. So rather than building this page from scratch, what we can actually do is add in pre-built elements. So to do that, we can click on the Add button in the left-hand corner here. We can click on Strip. And there actually is already a pre-made strip here for testimonials. So we can just take this and drag and drop this onto our new page. So we may need to just drag this down to get it to fit in properly. And then all we'll need to do is to edit the text and images in the same way we've already learned how to do to make these testimonials from our own customers. And you could get images like this from their LinkedIn or the profile picture on their email and get the quote directly from them as well. So we can also see that the new page that we've created, it's automatically added as a button here in our menu. And you can edit that as we looked at before if you would like to make that a drop down or if you'd like to remove it from the menu. So that's really how easy it is to add a page to your website. You can, of course, add in all sorts of different images or whatever you really want here, booking forms. There's tons of templates there that you can just simply drag and drop onto the page. And that's how easy it is to build any page you want that doesn't come necessarily with the Wix template that you are using. Now let's look at Wix SEO so that you can get found on the search engines. So Wix has some great SEO tools, and to access them, just click on Settings in the top toolbar here and click on Get Found on Google. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you may be brought through a little bit of an onboarding process where you'll just put in your business name, your location if you have one, if you're an offline business, and also to put in some keywords, which are really the main topics you're going to talk about or the services that you offer. So I've gone ahead and done that and put in some example keywords here for this example website, which are Facebook ads for dropshipping, Facebook ads for e-commerce, and Facebook ads for Shopify. So if you're not sure which keywords to pick, there is a video here that you can access and watch. And Wix also has this great tool where you can analyze the keywords that you've picked out. So once you click that, you can see your results. And what you're going to see here is the keyword strength. So using these stronger keywords with a bigger green bar is really going to help more people find you on Google. So for example, I have as one of my keywords Facebook ads for e-commerce, but perhaps a much better keyword to use on my homepage would be Facebook ads agency for e-commerce, because the keyword strength is much bigger. And perhaps for a blog post, I could use best Facebook ads for e-commerce, and that would be a term that a lot of people are searching for in Google, and that'll help me get found. Also, more specific than Facebook ads for Shopify, perhaps Facebook ads Shopify dropshipping. That's really specific And if those were the type of customers that I was trying to attract, then these would be great keywords to use across my website and blog posts. So you can select up to 5, and once you've done, you can click done. Make sure to save those changes. And that's how you will have selected the main keywords for your site. Once you have completed that initial SEO onboarding process and picked your keywords, you will then be presented with your SEO plan. And there are 3 main steps in this plan or checklist that you should really complete to get found in these search results. Step 1 is to get your site listed on Google. And I'm going to walk you through and show you how to set up the homepage's title and description. So that's going to be really important to do. You should also go ahead then and connect your site to your domain. Now, connecting your own domain to your site is a great way to improve your site's SEO. And I'm going to show you how to do that in the next step when we look at some of the premium features. Now, the final thing to do in this first step is to connect to Google Search Console. So as you can see here, Google Search Console is a free tool that is made by Google that will instantly get you listed on the Google search results so people can find you. You can also track your SEO achievements and receive helpful insights. And you can also submit your sitemap, which is a list of all the pages on your website. So I'm not going to walk through the steps to do that. It's very straightforward, but all you'll need to do is click on Connect to Google, set up that Search Console account, and then you can automatically submit the sitemap. So once you've done that, you then go ahead and optimize your site's pages for SEO. So update the contact info and really just follow the things that they recommend here. Wix is going to walk you through every single step. And step 3 is to keep improving your SEO. And there is a full SEO guide here by Wix that you can follow, or you could even hire an SEO partner and get them to do the work for you if you wanted to. Now let's look at how to update the homepage's title for the search results. To update the homepage's title, just click on Go for it. And first let's understand why this is important. So click on why it's important, and here you'll see a preview of a SEO page title. So in this example, you have nature photography, the keyword, Seattle, which is the location, and Daniel Forest, which is the name of the business owner. So this is the first thing that people are going to see about you in Google. So you really want to tell them who you are by adding your name, keywords, and location. Wix will give you a recommended title here. So if you like that, you can just go ahead and copy that and then click on Editor. And Wix is going to open up inside the editor the place where I need to paste this page title. Right now, what my page title looks like in Google is just home, and you have this Wix domain name, which obviously doesn't look too professional. Now click on home here and then paste in your page title. Now, if you want to edit this, you can see that a good format here is the page name, location, and site name. So I might put in Facebook Ads Consultant. I can put in my city name. And I'll just put also in my name, which is going to be my site name. And then you can go back up and look at the preview in Google and see if you like the look of that. Then once you're done, just click on Save. And then return to the checklist and click Refresh to make sure that we've done everything correctly. Next, we want to add the home page's description for the search results. So select that from the checklist. Again, we can see why this is important. Because the page description, also known as the meta description, is right below the page title in the search results, highlighted in yellow here. And it's a great place to tell people a bit more about what you do and encourage them to go to your site. So what we want to do is include one of our keywords, and it'll even give you a list of the keywords here. Include your business or site name and keep it between 50 to 300 characters. And then click on Go to Editor. And it's in here that you can add your page description. So I'm going to paste in one that I've already prepared. And you can just read it to make sure that it looks good. And once you're done, click Save. Return to the SEO checklist and click Refresh to make sure that we've done everything correctly. And now we can see that we have completed this step to update our homepage's SEO. Now those are the two probably major things you need to do to get started and to get your site listed on in Google. And then all you need to do is go through the remaining steps in the SEO checklist and just follow what Wix tells you to do. That's how simple it is to improve your Wix SEO and get your site listed on Google. That wraps up how to complete step 3 and edit every part of your Wix template. Now let's look at step 4. Step 4 is to add premium features. If you want to add premium features to your Wix website, you can upgrade your plan by clicking on the Upgrade button in the top toolbar within the Wix Editor. Now, what's the difference between a free Wix plan and a premium plan? Well, a premium plan will give you a free domain to connect to your site, so you can get a personalized domain name that's going to look much more professional and also help you with your SEO. A premium plan also removes all of the Wix ads from your site, which also looks much more professional. All free Wix websites have Wix ads, which can be quite distracting to your website visitors. And also, a free Wix website cannot connect to essential tools like Google Analytics, which you'll use to track your website. So those are the 3 main reasons to upgrade to your premium plan. And if you want to compare the plans, just click on Compare Plans. There are a number of different Wix premium plans, but all of them come with a 14-day money-back guarantee. The 2 main categories of the plans are the website plans, which will be great for showcasing a professional site, or you have the business and e-commerce plans, which will really be the option that you choose if you want to accept online payments. So for this example, I'm going to choose the website plan and choose the unlimited plan, which is probably ideal for most people, most entrepreneurs and freelancers. So you can see the cost for this and what's included. And once you've selected your plan, you can just go ahead and click on it and then select your billing cycle. Now, if you pay upfront for more months, like 2 years, you could save a big amount of money. You can also just pay on a monthly basis, but you don't get a free domain, your ad voucher, or some of the other benefits. So I'm just going to click on the yearly option here, get my saving, and continue to the checkout. And once you've entered your payment information, just submit your purchase. To get your domain name, just enter in the name that you would like to use for your site. So I'm just going to enter in my personal name and click search. And now I can see that my domain name for .com is available. So a couple of quick tips to help you choose the best domain name for your website. Number one is to keep it short. You can technically choose a domain name that's up to 60 characters long, but you probably want to keep it around 12 characters, which is the length of this domain name here. Number two is make it easy to type and pronounce. So you don't want people really misspelling things. It should roll off the tongue or be easy for people to hear it and then type it into Google. And tip number three is to stick to alphabetical letters only. So don't put in hyphens or slang or things like that. People just won't get it. So it's just easy to stick to proper words that people can understand. And if in doubt, just go with your personal name because that gives you a lot of flexibility to change things as you move forward. So once you see that your domain name is available, click Get It. So next you can choose if you want to purchase the domain name now for up to 3 years. That'll save you a discount. Or you can just use the free voucher that Wix is giving you and purchase the domain for 1 year. All that means is that after 1 year, you're going to get a notification in advance, and then you can renew that domain name if you want to keep it. I'm just going to stick to 1 year and then click Continue. Next, you'll just enter in your contact info so that you can be contacted to renew your domain in future, and then click Continue. Next, you want to choose whether your contact info will be public or private. So there is a domain name governing body called ICANN, which requires that all website owners make their personal information publicly available. So here Wix is offering you some privacy protection options. You can choose full privacy protection and all of your personal information will be kept private, or you can select basic protection where the information exposed may be your country or your organization's name, but your name, address, and phone number and email will not be publicly shown. So I would just suggest you pick the basic protection. This will help you not get any spam calls and emails. Once you've picked your privacy protection, click Continue. And then click on Submit Purchase. And that's how easy it is to get your free domain name and connect it to your Wix website. Now, as you can see on screen here, the next suggested step is to get a personalized mailbox. This will make you look much more professional online because you can get an email address that's info@yourdomainname.com or your name at yourdomain.com. So if you want to go ahead and do this now, you can just click on Buy a Mailbox. You can also set up a domain-based email anytime through the Wix Editor by clicking on Settings, Get a Mailbox, and here you'll be able to get a personalized domain-based mailbox. Just click on Mailbox to start up the onboarding process. All you need to do is enter the name of the email address like info@yoursite.com. And I'll just skip this step for the moment, but you can see the cost is roughly $6 per mailbox per month. And you can get a discount if you pay upfront for 12 months. If you want to go ahead and set that up from here, just click Next and it'll all be set up automatically. It's very easy to do and a real seamless integration. That's how easy it is to complete step 4 and add premium features to your Wix website. Now let's look at step 5. Step 5 is to publish your website. To publish your website anytime, click on the Publish button in the top right-hand corner. And congratulations, your site is published and live online. You now have your own little piece of the internet, and to see what your site looks like, click on View Site. And here you'll be able to see all the edits that you made and also your custom domain name and the SEO changes that you made. Just be aware that it can take up to 24 hours for your domain and your website to connect. So if you don't see it pop up straight away, just wait an hour and come back and you should see your website and domain name really pop up on screen as it's going to appear to visitors. Now, what if you want to unpublish your site and continue working on it in private? It's very simple. To unpublish your website, come into Settings, My Dashboard, then scroll down and click on Settings in the left-hand toolbar. Click on Website Settings. And here you'll be able to see that your site is published and you can unpublish it if you want. Now, what if you want to transfer the site to a client? It's very simple. Just click on Settings in the top right-hand corner and click on My Dashboard. Then click on Site Actions next to the site and click on Transfer Site. And here you can give ownership of this site to another person. So just enter in their email address and you can include what's included in this transfer, whether that's the premium plan, the domain, or both. And you can even keep your role as the website manager. Once you enter the new site's owner email and click Next, they'll receive an invite email from which they must confirm the transfer, and then they can just follow the steps to accept ownership. That wraps up this Wix tutorial for beginners. The best way to see how easy it is to create a website with Wix is to try it out for yourself. So click the link in the description below to be taken straight to the page where you can create your own Wix account and website for free. So like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe for more tutorials, and comment below for what video you'd like me to make next. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.